We take it that it's an admitted fact that there is a leak. There is no question about it. But you know, the nature of the leak is what we are determining.
Yes.
Actually, we are asking question. The fact that there was a leakage of question papers is cannot be disputed. Now, what is the consequence of the leak would depend upon the extensive nature of that leak. If it
Was
is
it
not
a explained leak or uncontained?
you don't, I'll tell you one thing. You don't cancel a whole examination merely because two students have committed a malpractice. Likewise, assuming that there is a leak, we don't live in an ideal world. There should be no leak. But before we decide to order a retest, we must be careful about what is the nature of that leak, because we are conscious of the fact that we are dealing with the careers of 23 lakhs.
Is absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I'm asking, look, asking 23 lakh students to reappear for an examination, together with the preparation, travel, and dislocation of admission schedules, is a
Unfortunately, there is no other choice. Unfortunately, there is no other choice. Paper has been leaked.
Now, therefore, we want to know this. Therefore, we would like to know first the entire process which was there. To what is the nature of the FIRs which have come forward? How was the leak? What is the point of time at which the leak took place? How was the leak disseminated? These are important questions. And next, very important, what are the actions which the Government of India and NTA have taken to identify the wrongdoing students or the beneficiaries of the wrongdoing?
Correct. Now, now I give an example. I must give an example. I will give someone who has come first.
I'd like to make submission. I'm in 31.9 by law.
So we have understood your lordship's question. They are very pertinent question, and that would ultimately lead. But I just give an example.
Your lordships are something perhaps
Not
Mr.
one second.
One second, Mr. Solicitor, we also want to know what are the steps which have been taken by the NTA and by the government to identify the beneficiaries of the leaks, because that we have to be ruthless on identifying the beneficiaries.
We also have to be ruthless,
Right? Because anybody who has breached the examination is not entitled to be there as a successful student.
Those who are identified, the results are. But give me an example.
How many? We want to know how many have been identified.
Yes.
But more than how many have been identified, we want to know what was the course of action which was taken by the government.
Kindly allow me to give an example. For the time being, leave Bihar. I will not call the police also. I will not take instructions. Take for example, Godhra incident, it passes on as a paper leak case. It's not a paper leak case. What happened was, there was one superintendent of one particular center called Jai Jalaram School. His name is Tushar Bhatt. So he arranged with certain students that he didn't have the paper. But he said that whatever answers you can confidently answer, you give the answers. These are multiple choice questions with negative marking. And therefore, I would have a window of 3 hours before, after I take your papers back, and I seal it and send it to the concerned authority. Fortunately, the authorities, the district magistrate came to know about this, or it must have percolated from somewhere. Therefore, the moment examination started, the entire district administration and entire police administration was there. the papers after the examination were taken in their custody, filled in their presence and sent, and that man was arrested. Now from his mobile, there were several video chats which were found. And we could identify that these were the people with whom he was in touch. So those identified students, their papers are, their results are with them. And they are issued so-called notices. Why should they not be?
But you want to know totally.
That's about Godhra, but what we are concerned about Patna. Patna is the leakage. Godhra, we are not complaining. I am only about paper leakage, Patna. Nothing else. All others are minor issues. Minor issues. Nobody would ask for a concern on the examination.
Overall in the entire country, how many students whose results have been withheld owing to what we are discussing today? Individual, one student cheating from another student, we are not bothered about that.
Absolutely.
That the law will take its own course.
Yes.
How many students are there whose results have been withheld as a result of the systemic, so we won't say systemic, as a result of the leakage which leakage. So, and where are those students situated? You want to see the geographical distribution of those students. Are they in one state? Are they in multiple states? Where are they situated? And third, now one more thing which we'd like to also dwell on is the following justice, the order passed by the bench presided over by Honorable Justice Vikramnath in the vacation. 1563 students, there was a retest. That was held on the 23rd of June, not 21st of June. 23rd of June.
It has been listed.
Now, one second. Just tell us for this examination now. Are we still in the process of identifying the wrongdoers in terms of the students? We're not talking of those who are perpetrators, but beneficiaries. Have we been able to completely identify the students who are the beneficiaries, or is that process still ongoing?
Answer is no.
For instance, one second. For instance, look, if we have no goal, we'll have to cancel the exam.
But there has been no effort whatsoever on that side.
As a board,
yes.
This cancellation of a test of this nature, 24 lakh students, is a matter of extreme large scrutiny. Because it may be, this
is absolutely right.
It may be, and therefore we are asking questions about what is the time at which the leakage took place. So that will give us an idea of what was the opportunity for dissemination. What the modality for.
They have now, quick answer. If you're not sure.
Just one second. Mr. Solicitor, one second. Just one second.
Everything by,
yeah. 1 second, one more thing I wanted to ask you is that with the kind of technology which we have today at our disposal, and the Government of India has its cyber forensic unit, is it not possible for us to run through the use of experts to bring some sense of confidence to the process? That you carry out a detailed data analytics exercise to see if there are suspicious markers. Now, we have to identify what the suspicious markers are. Alright, so I just want to say one thing, let us not be in self-denial.
Absolutely.
Right? Because, self-denial is only adding to the problems, because now everybody knows there was a leak. So let's not, we have 2 or 3 things. We have to see what happened for this exam, what we do in the ongoing process for the conclusion of this year's admission, and finally, which is the third aspect of the matter which we'll answer, what do we do to ensure that the leak does not take place again in the future? Or what are the steps we are taking to ensure that the dissemination in the future does not result in the leaks that we have encountered? On the last aspect, subject to hearing you, there should be a sort of a multidisciplinary committee consisting of the best experts, not necessarily only from the government, but people who have very wide experience and who are respected across the country. Because we are, today we are dealing, I don't have to emphasize it, we are dealing with the most prestigious of educational admissions.
And
every middle class
young
parent,
minds will not which are the treasure of
middle class parents aspire their children to go to medicine or engineering, or Now, what are we doing to ensure that that this will not happen in future, and how are we planning to tighten the examinations process? Is there an audit being conducted by the government on what went wrong in the NTA? That's one aspect. What do we do? There's a third aspect. Second aspect, assuming that we are not going to cancel the entire exam, what do we do between today and the date of admissions to identify those who are beneficiaries of the fraud? And the first aspect, do we cancel the exam or do we allow the counseling to go through by identifying the beneficiaries? And on the first aspect, we'd like to know from the government, what have you done so far to identify those who are beneficiaries of the...
I can assure your lordship one thing. But we are not adversary.
Report to the CBI and Patna police. That is most important. Report to the CBI and the Patna police.
Mr. Solicitor, they have, from what they are trying to emphasize, we find that they place a great deal of emphasis on the fact that in the 20, 21, 22, 23, you had 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2, that is 4 and 1, 5 and 2, 7 students got 720 out of 720 in 4 years. This year, we have 67 who get 720.
Which will not 600.
One second.
We have an answer.
I have one more question. What is the percentile distribution in this exam across categories, not just 720 out of 7?
Few sectors.
No. The distribution of marks, is it skewed at the top? In the last year, suppose how many were in the bottom third percentile, in the middle third percentile, in the top third percentile? This year, in the sense that will give us an indicator, was the pattern, was it a paper leak? Was the examination pattern comparatively easier as opposed to the previous years?
We have done the analysis, we place it on chart.
I have given that answer my lord's query to make a small last page of the page note. The chart I have given that satisfying my lord's query. The marks I have compared, given that table. But somebody in 2022 who obtained 700 marks. Can you see this table for a moment? That will throw light on my lord's query.
Somebody who obtained 700 marks.
Yes, in 2022 his rank was 94.
Right.
In 23, somebody 700, his rank was 247. Then somebody has 700 in 2024, his rank is 2250.
He goes down.
It goes down because there is 100% rise.
Also there is another aspect.
Question.
Also there is another aspect.
One second. How many students appeared in 2022, 23 and 24?
Same number. See, next table is showing it. And next table is showing it. The 56 students that are before the total number of all of them are here, stoppers. Not kindly see the difference. Also, my lord, also there is another aspect to it. Increase in a very linear fashion. My lords, there is another aspect to it. In fact, NTA has published several answer keys. My lords, I'd like to point out. My lords, I'd like to
My lord, I'd also like to point out and some.
May I say something here? Of the 56,
May I be able to?
May I make a small submission, my lord? Rest all of them have been meritorious, have scored highest mark in class 10 and 12. In so far as Gujarat is concerned, in these 56 people that have come before my lord. So this is a case where all of us are facing tremendous mental agony because of this.
That's all right. Now we can leave aside the emotions. You can trust us.
I'm saying that out of
What we want to know, Mr. Solicitor, what we want to know is this. We will have these, we'll have these anecdotal, charts like this which are given to us. Please take instructions from the government. Can we not run this through a data analytics program to the cyber forensic units? You can contact, if the government has that in the Ministry of Home Affairs, so much the better. If you don't have it, you can ask any of our top service providers to find out, because we have to identify whether the skewing of marks is so systemic that the whole examination is affected, or is it possible to identify people who are wrongdoers or likely wrongdoers, in which case a retest can be held for those students only.
I have
Lord, I'd like to make a small submission.
Not in a holistic way, but I can assure your lordship not about one thing. But we are not adversarial to the petitioners either way. The petitioners who have an apprehension of an all India problem, or petitioners 23 lakhs in number plus, who are not feeling insecure because they may have to face another examination. But we are concerned about both the sets, and we will assist your lordship dispassionately. And whatever your lordships have suggested, I think the solution lies.
Lawyers for the petitioners, please, we take it up on Solicitor also want all the lawyers for the petitioners who are asking for a retest, to sit together between now and Wednesday and give us one set of submission. We can't have people, 100 lawyers arguing before us on 100 different grounds. We want you to all sit down. We'll appoint one nodal counsel, as we do in the CB matters.
Yes, sir.
You give us one consolidated submission, say not exceeding 10 pages.
Yes,
We don't mind, it shouldn't exceed 10 pages. Why you are looking for a retest? Likewise, we do this. We will ask the government to circulate a comprehensive list of dates and a response to what we have raised.
This CBI directive, because everything is with CBI. NTA, as we have seen in the reply, they say we do not know whether it was systemic or not. Here, somebody will place the picture in which direction the investigation is going.
Not about 6.
Not filtration in between. Let
They finalize it.
better submit a status report.
Let me take instructions from.
You are appearing for the CBI also, Mr.
Let us CBI file a status report.
Why don't you do this? Ask the CBI to file a status report.
On Patna. That's where the leak has occurred. On the first of all, minor issue.
On its investigation, whether it is systemic or whether it is not.
For suggestion, if you not make, kindly consider it.
Lord, I'd like to make a small submission, my lord. Here, also
There is no suggestion, not make, kindly consider it. In the meantime,
my lord, actually,
Only one request.
submission, my lord.
I will not call for the record from the CBI also. And because something will not be made public, how to place it before the lordships, etc. But my lord, can I request, my lord, this is a joint request, that we file everything as suggested by the lordships by Wednesday, and matter can be heard on Thursday. So we are not, nobody takes,
officer file an affidavit.
is taken by surprise that what is the document. We prepare it today, file it by day after. and we can have.
But that filtration which happens in between, but the investigating officer is the best person.
No, I'm not on CPI, on overall.
So Wednesday he's saying take it up on Thursday.
Thursday,
So you will get 24 hours to study what they are saying.
For placement. And but in the meantime, if let just consider one more aspect. Only one like the entire result of 23 lakh odd people we declared on their website, they have not declared that result. We will also analyze the data because if they declared the result of 100 people, we could see that 6 people who secured rank 1 are from the same center.
It is declared.
So you will be able to see.
Also,
They are not comprehensively published.
Candidates have declared on the website.
Lord, I'd like to make a small submission.
You made your point very clear, Mr.
Same center, not the people. Student got the same marks, 720 and 770, Lordship. One center, Lordship.
Same center.
720, 770.
Yes.
How is it possible, Lordship? This is my question with that.
People in one center in higher.
Lordship, my second question, they all are shaped different. Result is a different, Lordship. How is it possible, Lordship?
The entire result, when you analyze the data, but you are on the resources.
Answer keys for the same OMR people.
Also permitted to approach above.
Multiple answer keys for one single question. It has been published by the NTA on its website.
NTA opened up on the 8th of April for enlisting students, my lordship, on a 24-hour window on the 9th and the 10th of April, my lordship.
And send the answer also. They have sent the answer also.
Now this is the.
State answer.
My second, and then the second question that why the NTA has declared the result of 4 June, my lord. That is the question that already, my lord.
3 answer keys for the same set of question paper. How can NTA publish that? NTA also should be investigated.
These are there. How many total?
1,10,000. 1,10,000 approximately.
The one next
Of which 50% is government.
How many?
1,08,000 something is the exact figure.
56,000 is the government seat. The entire funding is on the government. So that they can do the project. And they should one for that, not my lord.
My lord, I'd like to make a small submission, my lord.
My lordship, it's my humble request.
Already see.
The data which is come out, it will be important to this. Please come out.
My lordship, all spies.
Marship status.
My lord, on VC, I may be allowed to make a small submission of 30
The
seconds.
portal which is opened on the 9th of
9 April.
Sir, my lordship, the portal is opened on 9th April 2024. It's my humble request to please give the clear data to find out so that we can.
My lords, why the window was open on 8th and 9th? What is the reason?
Yes, sir.
And what was the result? Because this is the only difference.
My lord,
They have identified 1,506.
The candidate who are appealing.
We'll tag something and we'll now place it on Thursday. We'll just give some direction to the matter so we'll be able to focus on what we want. Yes, we hear you. We're not going to. On 9 February 2024, the National Testing Agency, into brackets NTA, issued an online application form for the National Eligibility cum Entrance Test, into brackets NEET UG, bracket 2024, full stop. NTA conducted the NEET UG examination on 5 May 2024. Full stop. Results were declared on 4th June 2024. Next. on 5 May 2024, from the material which has emerged on the record at the present stage, it appears that on 5 May 2024, a first information report bearing FIR number 358/2024 was lodged at PS Shastri Nagar, Patna, alleging a leak in the NEET UG 2024 question papers, implicating offences under sections 407, 408 and 409, read with section 120B of the Penal Code. Good start. On 23 June 2024, the Economic Offences Unit of Bihar Police issued a press release noting that in connection with the above FIR, 13 persons, including candidates and members of, and into inverted commas, members of the organized gang of examination leak.
Sorry, I should not interrupt. This is what I gave to the office. This is not true. That is what the Bihar police on that very day clarified.
Where is that clarification?
I had just given.
No, not the measure is wrong.
This is what
No.
Bihar police clarified.
No, you are trying to cover it.
This is on that very day published, my lord, by the Bihar police. This is with regard to the news report of NEET UG exam published in the Sunday Express newspaper dated 23rd June. On its front page with the headline, Bihar police put...
So this press release is not an official press release?
No, that's what it's, the Bihar police clarifies on their website. Kindly read it further, my lord. Paper leaked in my different affairs for Bihar. He handed this over to me just now. In the news item, the undersigned has been wrongly quoted and the name has been mentioned at least 3 times in the news item by the correspondent Sri so and so. Whereas the matter of fact is that no such brief had been given by the undersigned to him in this regard, and neither the concerned correspondent letter had been issued. This irresponsible act of correspondence is against the
According to the petitioners, on 23 June 2024, a press release was issued by the Economic Offences Unit of the Bihar Police, setting out in regard to the paper leak which had taken place. On the other hand, from a communication dated 23 June 2024 addressed by the Additional DGP Economic Offences Unit, it has been stated that no official press release or statement
That's an act of cover-up.
had been issued by the Bihar Police. Full stop. Be that as it may, in this batch of petitions, one of the primary reliefs which has been sought is for a court-mandated retest of the entire process which took place, culminating in the examination which was conducted on 5 May 2024. Full stop. In support of the case, of their case, the petitioners have relied on two primary circumstances. First, it has been submitted that before that, you can just say the NEET UG 2024 examination consisted of multiple choice questions involving a total of 180 questions. Full stop. Each of the 180 questions carried 4 marks, making for a total of 720 marks for the examination. 45 marks each were allotted to the segments in physics,
Chemistry, biology, biology,
botany,
and foods,
Geology and
botany and zoology.
physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology. Full stop. The examination at this age, the award of negative marks, of one negative mark
Per wrong answer.
per wrong answer. Next. In support of the plea that the court should direct a re-examination, the petitioners have primarily relied on 2 circumstances. First, it has been submitted that that candidates securing the maximum of 720 marks were confined to a few students, between 2020 and 2023. In 2020, full stop. As opposed to this, in the NEET UG 2024, as many as 67 candidates are reported to have secured a maximum of 720 marks. The submission can best be highlighted by reproducing the chart which has been placed during the course of the hearing. एक कॉपी कर लीजिए. The above chart indicates that while one student in 2020, 3 students in 2021, 1 student in 2022, and 2 students in 2023 secured the maximum marks, there has been a radical increase in the students securing the maximum of 720 marks in 2024. Full stop. Apart from the second submission, proceeds on a comparative tabulation of the ranks which were allotted to students in 2022, 2023 and 2024. The submission
For me, most important, the leak has happened. That is the core.
The second, the above submission is sought to be highlighted from the following tabulated chart. वो भी डाल दीजिए इसमें BB. The above chart indicates that students receiving a specific level of marks between 539 and 700 who had secured a particular rank in 2022 secured lower ranks in 2023 and a radically lower rank in 2024. No. Same marks, same level of marks. Not same school. We'll stop next. In considering whether, before that you can say, it is certain basic facts which are not in dispute need to be alluded to. We'll stop. About 24 lakh students registered for the NEET UG examination, which was to be conducted in the month of May 2024. Good stop. About 23.33 lakh students, correct?
Yes, sir.
Appeared for the 23,33,297 students. वो क्वेश्चन की बताइए क्या फिगर क्या है? 23,23,290 students, 297 students appeared for the examination. The examination was conducted at 4750 centers comprised within 571 cities. Full stop. The examination was also held in 14 cities overseas. Full stop. The total number of seats, medical seats for undergraduate, one second, I've made a note. For undergraduate studies is 1.08 lakhs, of which approximately 56,000 are seats in government hospitals. Full stop. The investigation prima facie, tentatively at the present stage, the court has been apprised of the fact that the court has been apprised of the fact that first information reports were registered in Patna, Delhi, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, and Maharashtra. Correct? Full stop. Whether the FIRs in relation to the paper leak is only confined to Patna,
Yes.
or otherwise, is a matter which would have to be reserved for a more detailed elaboration, detailed consideration. Full stop. The above narration indicates that the examination was conducted over a wide spectrum comprising of nearly 23 lakh students spread over 4,750 centers in India. Full stop. Before the court can be full stop. The law on whether a retest should be ordered in a situation such as the present is based on fairly settled parameters. Full stop. The court would have to scrutinize on the basis of the data which has emerged on the record whether bracket 1, a breach in the sanctity of the examination has taken place, whether bracket 1, the alleged breach has taken place at a systemic level or at a systemic level, semicolon, bracket 2, whether the breach is of a nature which has affected the integrity of the entire examinations process, and 3, whether it is possible to segregate the beneficiaries of the fraud from the untainted students. Stop. In a situation where the breach in the sanctity of an examination affects the entirety of the process, and it is not possible to segregate those who are beneficiaries of wrongdoing from others, it may be necessary to order a re-examination. On the other contrary wise, where the breach is confined to specific areas or centers, and it is possible to identify those who are beneficiaries of wrongdoing, it may not be appropriate to order a retest, particularly in an examination which has been conducted on such a massive scale, involving over 23 lakh students. Involving such a large body of students who would have appeared, who have studied for the examination, undertaken costs and expenses, and would have to undergo the rigors of a fresh examination if it were to be ordered by the court. Next. While flagging these issues, while flagging the above issues, we are of the view that a view on the merits would have to be deferred until further facts are placed on the record before this court. Full stop. For that purpose, we intend to direct the National Testing Agency to make a full disclosure before the court. Full stop. The disclosure which we are intending to require can broadly be classified into three aspects. Well, the first aspect pertains to the nature of the leak, the places where the leak took place, and the lag of time between the occurrence of the leak and the conduct of the examination. From this perspective, NTA is directed to clarify on the basis of the material which is in its possession as of date on the following issues. Bracket 1. When the leak of the question papers has first taken place. 2. The manner in which the question papers were leaked, were disseminated. Semicolon, bracket 3. The duration between, the time duration between the occurrence of the leak and the actual conduct of the examination, which took place at 2 p.m. between 2 p.m. and 5:20 p.m. on 5 May 2024. The second, while making the full stop, on the above aspect, we are also of the view that since the investigation has been entrusted to the CBI, a status report should be filed by the investigating officer before this court, indicating the status of indicating
only that's a court.
The status of the investigation up to date and the material which has come to light during the course of the investigation. One may one name when the leak was first noticed. By you. The investigating officer shall, in particular, indicate to this court, shall place before this court material which has been gathered during the course of the investigation, which would have a bearing on when the leak is alleged to have first taken place, and the modalities in which the leaked question papers were made available. Full stop. On the second perspective, the second aspect on which we NTA shall make a disclosure to this court is in regard to the steps which have been taken so far for identification of the beneficiaries of the leak. This regard, the court should be apprised inter alia of the following, bracket 1. How many students, what were the steps which were taken by NTA to identify the centers stroke cities at which the leak took place, 2, the modalities followed for identifying the beneficiaries of the leak, and 3, the number of students who have so far been identified to be the beneficiaries of the leaked question papers. Likewise, the investigating officer
a stroke authority, because identification may not be within our.
All right. The above information, I'll clarify while editing. I'll put it so that it will be more the Ministry of Home Affairs or some other one.
But the leak will be at one place, at how many centers the leak paper has been made available, because the leak will be in the entire system at one point.
No, we have said that dissemination also we have said. The investigating officer shall also submit a status report bearing on the above aspects.
Yes.
Well, it's one point.
The third aspect on which it is necessary to have a further disclosure by the union government as well as by NTA. We say union government and NTA, is whether it is possible by the union government and NTA, is whether it should be is on whether
Technically feasible.
yeah, whether it would be feasible using data analytics either within the cyber forensic unit or any other expert agencies within or which may be employed by the government to identify cases where suspect cases will stop. For instance, these cases may involve full stop. This may be, if this is possible, the authorities shall identify before the court, identify the modalities which can be followed so as to segregate the tainted from the untainted students. Next. The third aspect on which we would require a disclosure is in regard to the modalities to be followed between the conclusion of the examination, including the retest which was held for 1563 students, and the actual commencement of the counseling process. Full stop. If an exercise is to be conducted by the NTA and by the union government so as to deduce any further beneficiaries of the question paper leakage, a considered decision at the policy level would have to be taken by the government on whether counselling should be allowed to proceed in the meantime or otherwise.
May not say that.
On the status of the counselling. Fourthly, the court is concerned about the steps which should be taken thereafter to ensure the sanctity of the national eligibility cum entrance test, so that such instances which have transpired during the course of the present session are not repeated in the future. In this regard, just 1 second please. In this regard, it would be necessary for the government to consider setting up a multidisciplinary team consisting of renowned experts who command the wider confidence of the community to ensure that due measures are being taken to obviate any further breaches in the NEET in the future. Full stop. If a committee has already been set up by the government for deducing the steps to be taken for the future, full details shall be made available to the court. Full stop. The court may then consider whether the committee which has been constituted by the government should be allowed to proceed as it is, or whether the composition of the committee should be
enhanced.
It is only
be sufficiently enhanced to bring so as to bring together a pool of talent from diverse fields, bearing not only on administration but also on domain expertise and data analytics. So,
I have only one sanction.
Solicitor General and Mr. Kaushik, Learned Senior Counsel appearing, Solicitor General appearing for the Union of India, and Mr. Kaushik, Learned Senior Counsel appearing for the NTA, have requested the court to place the further hearing on Thursday ka date, so as to enable them to make their to file the material in pursuance of the above queries by 5 p.m. on Wednesday. Full stop. The affidavit shall be shared with counsel appearing on behalf of the petitioners. Simultaneously, the report of the investigating officer of the CBI shall also be placed on the record in the meantime.
May I briefly say one aspect?
So, I'll tell you why. Let there be, the reason why we are asking for this disclosure, whatever view we ultimately take, let there be confidence in the community that
Absolutely,
Lord, I have only one survey.
As your lordship's views.
The entire. Lords, can I make one?
In view of the large number of counsel who are appearing on the side of the petitioners, we have requested that it has been agreed who will be the nodal counsel.
So we are fine. Mr. Sudhir Sharma will do this.
Independently sometimes.
Shall act as nodal counsel. All the counsel for the petitioners who are desirous of pressing their submission for a retest shall file a common set of submissions not exceeding 10 pages before the hearing takes place on Thursday ka date.
My lords, kindly allow the implement of petition, my lord.
The petitioner on this side, my lord, can it also be?
Time of loss.
On this side, so there's a fact that was
supported by these.
I appreciate, but I also want to get out the fact that all cases where they.
Why don't you do this? Give us a short one-page note that will be more.
Very well.
And wherever your lordships have said petitioners, there are transfer petitions where we are essentially respondents as
And this is beyond the leak, my lord. Beyond the leak also.
Yes, my lord, there is also a section.
They have changed the answer also. They have changed the answer one question, and allotted the number, my lord.
Yes, my lord, in fact, it's happened in my case also, where there are 3 answers.
Mr. Solicitor, we have not specifically in our order included the red flags. You can just
have understood,
right.
sir.
So I deliberately didn't put it into our order, but you can just see whether there are some cases like that which you can identify. See, so that can.
We have filed.
I'd like to place.
We have been served. Perhaps they are not given copies. The other ones who are intervening or etc.
But what we would suggest is what you give us on Thursday, give to us, and one more thing, what you give us on Thursday, make it comprehensive so that we don't have to wait through your counters and everything. We just okay, look at that basically.
Hello, may I make one small request?
We've now chopped out our roadmap. If we can, using whatever, technology, common sense, and our understanding of the law, identify the wrongdoing students, we then don't have to ask 23 lakh students to again appear for the exam. If we have no other go, of course we are there too.
Because for us to file that one page,
Kindly allow the implement application.
because for us to file that one page, our diary number to be
What
recorded.
is that matter? NEET matter.
My lord, sir.
We are, our
All right. Yes, yes. There are 3 other matters which we have to take. Sorry.
My lord,
our diary number to be loaded, so we file the pages. Our diary number be included.
All right. Any other fresh matters on NEET which were not on board?
Yes, sir.
After we you can give the matters numbers to the court master. He will bring them on board.
my lords, kindly allow the implement application.
One more thing, Mr. Solicitor. Has everybody served their petitions on the council dates?
But we have not
All right.
received replies, my lords.
All right, once again, the council appearing for all the petitioners, council appearing for all the petitioners, interveners, shall serve copies. Whom should we say?
Central, the M.K. Maroria.
On Sri M.K. Maroria, and Mr. Vardhaman Kaushik, counsel appearing, counsel instructing the Solicitor General and Mr. Kaushik, R.C. Kaushik respectively. The 2 counsel appearing on behalf of the 2 counsel, Mr. Maroria and Mr. The Union of India and the NTA shall prepare a tabulated statement indicating for each petition, tabulated statement grouping the petitions into distinct categories so as to facilitate disposal. So what you can do is those which are asking for a retest, you can put in one category. Then individual grievances, then we'll see whether those grievances can be entertained, whether we ask you to look into it, what to do. But we'll have one tabulated chart on petitions.
Hello, may I just request one indulgence?
That's why we said, therefore you serve a copy of these solicitors.
But they have changed the answer also. The condition, they have changed answer of one question and has given the more marks to the 13,000 students. The created problem for whether ranking is concerned.
But look, this is nothing, therefore those petitions you may have to deal in. They are individual petitions. Those are individual petitions where you say you have a medical condition which should have been given extra time. We'll deal with it separately. It does not deal with the sanctity of the examination. That's individual students' petition.
Today's order should not be deemed to be as restrictive only to the case of the, because between the.
Not at all. In fact, that's why we have finally said it.
So for the reason, my lords, on the 8th, while the exam was announced for the 5th, my lords, of May, on the 8th of April, overnight, my lords, they brought about a notification that there will be a window open for students who could not register for the exam way back on 16th of March. Now this window that they opened, my lords, is absolutely difficult to understand.
So more students registered.
And 25,000 and so students were
Hello, sir, I am telling an item. Request for 1 second of indulgence.
Look,
there are
more students registering, etc. How can we?
No, my lords, with utmost respect, because the initial advertisement.
We'll hear you on that.
The entire result, the entire comprehensive result should be put on the website. Right now, what's happening is
individual results only are put up. So somebody has to go. So we can't.
Mr. Kaushik, the entire result, except for those which you have, we will say that these results shall not give rise to any equities or legal rights. But you must at least now upload the result.
Yes, the entire results. Comprehensive.
The
Data science can work here.
1 second.
The revised result of 1563 and the rest of the persons, all has been uploaded on 30th. No.
Individually.
But do you have uploaded?
So that is why we can't use data science. That's the problem. If they are deliberately keeping under wraps.
Look, this would, your lordships may take a call on that on Thursday. No, there is something.
We'll apply our mind carefully.
Please, kindly, Manoj.
And also, the NPA has also moved certain transfer applications. One of the NPAs.
Track record of the toppers that you also looked at. Third.
Oblate.
42.6.
Just 1 second. 35. Permission. The reason we kept your matter today was, now, we knew that we can't take it up today, but what is the scope now of this All India Judges?
I appear in item 35. My IA alone has been.
Only his IA is there.
So what's happened, Manoj, your lordships have put it up for compliance today. Your lordships, orders for the past 2 years have not been complied with. At least 8 or 9 states have not released pension and allowance arrears, even though your lordships on multiple occasions extended the time limit for payment of those allowances, so it's not been complied.
Should we just take up on Thursday the issue of compliance?
That's right. Thursday. So that's also far as compliance is concerned.
Compliance.
On the main issue, there was only one substantive issue.
Pension.
Pension, old pension scheme versus new pension scheme. That's the only substantive issue, and that because there are
How long will we take on that?
all the submissions that are compiled and have been put in. I will take about 2-3 hours to explain the consequences of shifting from the old, and also to explain why.
We'll have to take it up on a Tuesday, I think.
We will have to argue.
Yeah.
There's substantial argument from the state and
So we'll take it up on a Tuesday. So what we'll do is today we'll keep your matter on Thursday, only for compliance of the payment of allowances, etc. by the state. That the union has no rule.
For 124 order.
For 124 order. So we keep that on Thursday. We take up the issue of compliance.
There is an IA listed today, Minister. There is an IA listed today. There is a fresh IA listed today. Three countries, Kerala, West Bengal, and Odisha, they have passed the circular ballot, political ballot.
That's right.
That is what Permission is also arguing. No difficulty.
Today there is an IA minutes.